The sun beat down on Finley, a young fox with a rumbling stomach. He'd been hunting all morning, but the forest yielded nothing but dry leaves and grumpy squirrels. Then he saw it, a vineyard, bursting with plump purple grapes, glistening under the afternoon light. His mouth watered. He leaped, his lithe body stretching towards the lowest bunch, but the grapes hung just out of reach. He jumped again, and again, his claws scrabbling against the smooth bark of the vine. Each jump ended in frustration, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Sweat beaded on his brow. He tried one last time, launching himself with all his might, but still, the grapes remained tantalizingly beyond his grasp. Exhaustion settled over him, heavier than his hunger. He slumped to the ground, his chest heaving. He looked up at the grapes, their rich color mocking his failure. A bitter thought took root in his mind. "Sour," he muttered, his voice barely a whisper. "Probably sour anyway. Not worth the effort." He turned his back on the tempting fruit and trotted away, his empty stomach gnawing at his insides. That night, the cold seeped into his thin fur. He curled up under a bush, his hunger a constant companion. He dreamt of the grapes, their sweetness a painful contrast to the emptiness in his belly. He imagined the juicy burst of flavor, the satisfying crunch as he bit into the plump skins. The thought was almost unbearable. As dawn broke, Finley watched a family of badgers emerge from their burrow, their bellies full, their movements sluggish from a night of feasting. He saw them sharing berries they had gathered the previous day. A wave of regret washed over him. He had given up too easily. He had let a little frustration convince him that the grapes were unworthy, when in reality, all he needed was a little more persistence. He had traded a potential feast for a self-comforting lie. He learned a harsh lesson that day. The sweetest rewards often require the greatest effort, and sometimes the hardest thing is believing in yourself enough to reach for them.